So in this video, I'm going to show you the difference between a soft and a firm landing and why it is important for a pilot to land within the touchdown zone. Now, sometimes when you're flying as a pilot or as a passenger, you notice that the landing was firm. I'm not talking about hard landing, I'm talking about firm landing. And in some airlines, you decide that the pilot is not skilled or is lacking experience. While I want to show you in this video that that's not entirely true. Before we start, I want to explain to you what is the touchdown zone and why it is important for a pilot to land in that zone. So a touchdown zone is 900 meters long, and the aiming point usually they are between 300 and 400 meters from the runway threshold, depending on the runway length. Now, if the pilot misses the touchdown zone, which is 900 meters long, unless he has a good reason to continue the landing, he should elect to go around. Now you're going to ask me, if I'm coming into land with a Cessna 172 or smaller, and I miss the touchdown zone, should I go around? I will tell you, use your common sense. Because a Cessna 172 doesn't need whatever is remaining from the runway 1,000 meters. It doesn't need that much to land and stop. But that's a decision you have to take on the day when you're flying. Now, if the pilot misses the touchdown zone, as you can see, it runs out really quickly, depending on the approach speed, the airplane speed, then you'll be missing the exit, the planned exit, and you might find yourself probably stopping at the end of the runway. And as you can see on this video, we're going to use a runway which is dry. The weather is clear, there's no turbulence, and you will notice that the stop-in margin, what's remaining from the runway is really not much. So if you add on top of it, weather, runway is wet, tailwind, all this will accumulate, and that's not what you want, and that's why it is important to land within the touchdown zone, or even in the beginning of the touchdown zone. So in this scenario, I will make a typical scenario where a pilot flares, misses a soft landing, and then he will flare too long and misses the touchdown zone. So here you go. I'm starting to flare. I'm extending the flare. I'm holding it to make a soft landing, trying to keep the touchdown zone. See, it runs out really quick, and now we're touching down, nose down, applying the reversers, and braking. 70 knot, either reverse. All right, it wasn't too bad. As you can see, it wasn't too bad for a runway or an airplane like this one. So we have stopped, and let's see the replay to see how much is remaining and where did we touch exactly. So as you can see, we're on final runway 23, and this is exactly what I did. This is the replay. We're coming into land, the touchdown zone is here, and the aiming point is the big blocks you can see. I started to flare a bit high, and I missed it, and I held the airplane up in an attempt to make a soft landing, and as you can see, the touchdown zone runs out really quick, and we just touched down barely at the end of it, and the nose is coming in down. The reversers will be deployed now, and in the replay it doesn't show, but anyway, you see the runway end is coming in really quick, and that's what's remaining from the touchdown zone, or that's what's remaining from the runway. That's barely, I would say, around 600 meters, which is not bad. It's all right. But I'm saying if it accumulates many things, then you might find yourself with not a lot of margin. So we're in final runway 23 again, and we're going to apply the normal and correct landing and flaring technique, and you will see that landing at the aiming point makes a big difference. So let's see. All right, reversers, center line, and we start braking. $70 knots. All right, working brake is set. Clearly, we're gonna watch the replay and see the difference. So we are on final runway 23, this is the replay, and you will see that touching down on the aiming point makes a big difference. All right, we touched down on the aiming point. The nose is coming down. And here you go. This is already in the airplane. And we stopped. and clearly the margins are remarkable. So let's do another one. We're gonna make a firm landing, and let's see the difference between that one and the first one we did. So we're on final runway 23 again, and this one is gonna be a firm landing, and let's see what happens. And you can decide on yourself what landing or which one was safer, the first one or this one.
50, 40, 30, 20, retard.
Okay, reverse series, and we're braking. Park and brake. And we stopped. Park and brake is set. Let's replay it. Touching down on the aiming point and then applying the normal landing technique and deceleration technique makes a big difference. Let's see. All right, nose, touchdown, reverser were applied here and decelerated the airplane properly and stopped. You see that the margins remaining on this one and the second one are way important. So clearly you can tell the difference between the first one, the second and the third one, and the results are remarkable between the last two and the first one. You can clearly see that making a soft landing sometimes comes at a cost. We all aim for a soft landing, but when it doesn't happen, that's not a priority anymore, because that might come at the consequence. You can aim for a soft landing and you will be delaying the touchdown, and something else can happen, which is a hard landing, because the airplane will run out of speed and eventually it will stall. So it's really important to apply the normal and correct landing technique. If the soft landing doesn't happen, then that's not a priority anymore, because if you keep aiming for that, that will come at a cost. You saw the difference between the two, and you can clearly make a decision by yourself, if you're a pilot, a passenger, that sometimes a soft landing could result in a safe landing. I hope that this video was enjoyable for you. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and I hope to see you on the next one. Take care.